Hello and welcome back. So in today's video, I'm going to be reviewing some of your work. So a bit of context first. So I work as a professional food photographer and I specialize in commercial food photography. So it's a particular type of work that I do. So my opinions are obviously going to be guided by that. I also have my own taste in work, what I think looks good, what I think looks bad. Just because I think that, it doesn't mean it's true. I'm also going to review these in a way where I give you a good point, a bad point, and a thing to improve on. This is probably going to be quite a long video. Got about 50 of the images which you guys sent in. And these are your best images. So firstly, there are no bad images in here, which is always a nice reassuring thing. And I'll probably be doing one of these again, so make sure you join the Facebook group so you can be added into it. But I've got my monitor over here. We're going to dive into like a screen recording. I'm just going to crack on with this and tell you what I think of your work. So I'm in the develop module, so we can get rid of all those presets because presets are completely pointless. Let's have the camera settings only. They've stripped some of that out. There we go, never mind. So here we go. We've got an Olipop strawberry and vanilla drink. I asked for full resolution. This is not full resolution. So one of the things with being a photographer is that you need to get the assignment right. This is web res. This is not full res. But nevertheless, it is good. What's good about it? Well, we've got a good color palette, which is always a good start. We have some nice clean lines, which I particularly like. The branding's reasonably well lit. The drink looks good. But there are things we can improve on. We've got a very sharp image here, but then we have this out of focus, blurry cactus right at the top. I think it would be better to take a separate plate, focus on this, and get that tack sharp as well. I don't think having this blurry and out of focus adds anything when this is also sharp and crisp and pristine. There's some brilliant Photoshop work here tidying up these blocks. I know how imperfect they are when you first photograph them. This is a very good job, good post-production, great image, very good. I think this is sort of at the point where you're charging, maybe 750 to 1,000 British pounds a day. I'll do it in British pounds because I can't. But yeah, again, this is a web res one, not full res. It's too pixelated to see, but from a quick look at it, it's been over sharpened. So you see this like texture in the background there that looks like over sharpening to me. What is good? Well, the good thing is the food looks nice. Apart from the pixelation, it does look nice. It looks good. It looks tasty. It looks appetizing, but this is just a plate of food. There needs to be more to it. There needs to be more to the narrative, to the story, a little bit more. So, we need more. It's 2021. We need a bit more than here's a pretty plate of food. Let's crack on. So this is somebody at the end of a pier. Again, this is a very low res web res JPEG. Now starting to wonder whether I asked for web res JPEGs. It's embarrassing of me. What's good about it? You've got leading lines. It's a nice place. Got the sky nice and vignetted at the top with a gradation coming down. Silhouetted person. But the thing is, and this is the honest truth, I've seen this photograph on Instagram done with an iPhone better than this a million times before. Things like this horizon line here going through the person's head. These shadows are not quite right, so perhaps waiting for a different time of day. It's okay, but it's nothing special. High resolution. Brilliant. Woo! Let's zoom all the way in here. Let's see what we've got. We've got a very, very soft image. Now, I find it interesting that none of the camera settings are coming through from anybody, so I assume you're removing these. I'd advise you not to do that. It's always good to go back for reference. So what's good about this? From this distance here, this looks appetizing. It looks good. The burger is loaded, which is nice. What's not so good? Now, I have never seen a beef burger steam like this before. The steam looks particularly added, which I'm not so keen on. And the cutout at the bottom, it doesn't quite, it looks like it's been cut out and stuck on the background. It looks like Photoshop's gone a bit too far. Now, what we could do with is a little bit more light. So I'm just grab this brush. Is that the brush? Oh, they've updated. I don't use this software very often. No, not that. This one. Brush. It's got a, let's reduce contrast. Increase this. So this bit here just feels a bit dark. Like it could do with a bit more something in there. Is that still the same key for this? Before and after? No. I wish people wouldn't keep updating stuff. Never mind. Anyway, there we go. It's a good image though. This has got potential. It just needs a little bit more work in post and to lose this steam. So what's up next? Here we go. The bottling plant. Yeah, here's the camera settings. Maybe that's my fault. So you've used a 24 to 105, which is a good standard kit lens. You've shot it at f4, which is wide open. So I'm guessing I'm correct. This is soft as you like. This is that Mark II version of the lens. I hear good things about this. I'm not really into lenses that much. So, but let's look at the image as a whole, because pixel peeping's all well and good. This is a good bar, cafe, restaurant, local place image. It's a nice shot. It's got a nice background. It's got that nice, warm, cozy vibe to it. I think you could have zoomed in to 105, moved further back, and stopped down the lens. That's where you'd still get the bokeh balls, if that's what you're into. It's not particularly to my taste, but you'd also get a sharper image, because this is just very soft. If you reproduce this at any size apart from web size, it'd be very out of focus. So yeah, good image though. Who's up next? Right, so this is on a 28 to 100 millimeter, 1.8 to 4.9. So it's quite a kit lens. This is. I'm not really familiar with it. So it is. It looks like it's been over sharpened. What file size are we on here? Decent sized file. I think this could do with a bit more punch. I like the concept. I like the lemon meringue. I assume it's a lemon meringue. Yes, lemon meringue popsicle. That is good. Not so keen on the linen, but that could just be personal taste. Let's just dive in here. Obviously, I'm just editing a JPEG here, which is not the ideal way to do this. I just think a little bit more pop like this could really help it. Yeah, I'm not so keen on the fabric at the top. I don't think it really goes with it. Image quality is obviously lacking here. You know, it's sort of like phone image quality when you zoom in all the way, but looking at it from this distance, it's a good image. One thing I might do for this particular frame is go down to the HSL slider and push the luminance of the yellows up a little bit. So go to luminance, and we'll just like, oh, no, not hue. That'd be very bad. You see this old laptop here is struggling with screen recording and editing high-res images. You just play around with this a little bit. But there we go, good image. What have we got next? Okay, so we have got an egg being cracked. 28 to 75 millimeter, f2.8. I'm not familiar with that lens. It's full res. It's not in focus. What is in focus? Are we just zooming into like ridiculous? Yeah, 300%. Let's go to 100%. It is in focus. I'm zooming in too far. So we've frozen the action nicely. So from a technical standpoint, you've nailed this. I don't think the hand looks right, though. And also, I don't like it when you just have, like, the claw coming in shot. I think we could do with some wrist. I always like to think, if you're going to go for this sort of frame, you should have, like, the wrist in there as well, rather than just the claw. But that's my take on it. I think it's okay. Whoops. Didn't mean to do that. It's okay. But yeah, the hand thing spoils it for me. Lump of coal chocolate bar. This is cool. Obviously, the histogram's all the way over at the left-hand side because it's so dark. Are the black points set correctly? Let's have a look. Could maybe go a bit blacker. This is nice and sharp itself. I'm not so keen, though, on this, like, I think if you're going to do, like, you've got dust and bits on here. So the shot itself is great, but it needs a bit more attention to detail in post. These little bits of dust on the chocolate indigo, these little bits that are broken off here, this crack, and like some of the whiteness of the chocolate here, what you need to do is get a straw and blow warm air through it from your mouth, and that'll sort of like melt it just enough. And this area here looks a bit messy, but all in all, it's a good shot. I've got it twice somehow. There we go. So we've got here a beer. So 30mm 1.4 lens. Let's see what we're looking at here. So quite good technical stuff, because you've got the candle here, and then you've got obviously this lit by flash and the haze coming in. There's good and bad things about this, right? The bottle looks good. It's a nice bottle, got a nice bit of spritz going on, bit of a gap up here, which is a bit not ideal, but this looks nice. However, and I also like the haze coming in, actually. I don't like this weird circle thing here. That looks very photoshopped in post. What doesn't do it for me is the beer in the background. It looks particularly unappealing. We've got all these weird reflections going on in it. The head's kind of slightly wonky. It looks like you need a spirit level on there. It's missing a bit at the top. It looks quite flat and dead. I also think the book here is very distracting. It doesn't really add anything. And then you've got this weird yellow line going across the bottom here. These fake lens flares, they're not for me. But I do like the smaller little specular bits you've added in there. The haze is good. I would lose the book. I'd lose the candle because I don't understand what the context of that is there. And then make the beer look nicer. It's okay. It's got potential. Could do with a bit more work though. Okay, so here we have a set of headphones. Now, my initial reaction to this is I have seen this photograph a million times, but never in a commercial context. It's a photograph that photographers take, but commercial photographers don't. This whole light on the background to give it it's very dated. It's very sort of early noughties. I mean, you've done a good job here. It's well lit. It looks nice and everything, which is great. It's a good technical exercise, but in terms of what you're actually achieving here, is it, and I like the blue on blue. The blue on blue works well. That's good. That it's sharp. The headphones could have done with a little bit of a better positioning, and this little bit here could do with the cleanup. But I've seen this a million times, and I think this is at a point which is good for every photographer to hear, actually. But if you've seen the image 100 times already, don't take it. It's already been done. There's nothing, by adding this headphone shot to your portfolio, you're gaining nothing. But let's see what's up next. Okay, some macrons that look out of focus at the bottom. They are out of focus. So the first thing here would be to get it in focus. It's in focus at the top, I think, but your depth of field obviously wasn't enough to actually get the whole lot in focus. So for this sort of shot, you really need to be nailing focus. What we're shooting at? F16. How have you missed focus at F16? Yeah, 80mm. Yeah, you've missed focus. These here are all out of focus. It's an okay concept. The background's very well executed. I like that. It'd be better if this pink bit was perfectly aligned with the line, but it's close enough. It's pretty good. But yeah, it's out of focus, and there's no real coming back from an out of focus image. What have we got here? Spaghetti meatball. I don't like this. And here is why. And sorry to be so brutal on this. I get the kind of context, but so what we've got here is some rice, grated cheese, some Parmesan cheese, but badly edited in because you can see around the sides where it's been masked or something. F11, I mean, you've got lots of detail in there. It's nice and sharp. I don't think you've sent me a high-res image, though, have you? Nope. I don't like the black and red, and I've never liked black and red in food photos. It looks very 90s. And now this has quite an oriental kind of vibe to it. It doesn't immediately say spaghetti and meatballs. The shadow on this side's too dark. It doesn't look nice. I think that, you've exposed it well, you've lit it well, but that's about that. Sorry, that was a bit brutal. So this is a high-res image. Well done. 50mm 1.8 at f10. So we're expecting some, nice bit of detail there. Got a nice coffee cup. Exposure's good. A little bit hot at the top, but maybe this isn't a calibrated monitor, so let's not read too much into that. The only thing I'd do differently is crop it differently. I would come into aspect ratio, 4:5. And this here is a very currently commercially viable image. There you go. You've got all your room there for your text and copy at the top for your advert. Good shot. What have we got here? What's this? What's going on? Hot Cheetos. I've had these recently. They are delicious. Well done. You've got it in at full res. 1/45th of a second. That seems like a strange shutter speed to have chosen, especially as it looks like using flash here. Not that it's mattered. So what do I think? I think your image is the wrong way around. Yeah, I think the image is the wrong way around. Let's just go, how do you rotate in Lightroom at the moment? Transform, there we go, rotate left. There you go, that's the right way around now. That's better. It's good. It's very bold, it's very graphic. This is very my style, which is why I like it. However, what you could do to make it better is all this dirt in the shadows. There's loads of like grease spots and things like that in the shadows, which could do with a bit of a tidy up. But apart from that, good shot, good image, very much in the current trend of food work. So this is an advert for a dessert company called 1.jpg. I'm going to assume that your file systems aren't that great. That's never a good sign. So 100mm Canon macro, 2.8. Got the focus on here. This is not high res. I'm definitely going to assume your filing systems are not particularly good. I kind of like it. This is obviously for Fidel. What's that? This is it's not a British brand, that's for sure. It's very hard to see, but this here looks a bit weird, like there's a furry ferret on top of it, but I think it might be the sprinkles blurring because your flash duration isn't high enough. I think you could do with a bit more light bouncing to the side of the cake. The hands look too messy, and the fingernails just don't quite look neat enough to be hand modeling with. And also, again, here with the cropping out the top of the hand, it looks a bit like the claw. Always try and keep the wrist in if we can. But apart from that, it's a good advert. It works well. You can see the brandings here. This is obviously whatever this is, which I'm not really sure because I can't read that. This is some sort of pistachio being dropped on it. It's okay. You needed a shorter flash duration. The shadow here is not particularly pleasing. The light's obviously coming in from the back over there. You did a better reflection into the front of the bit here. But yeah, it's an okay image. Oh, hang on. Was I zoomed in on that one as well? No. So what do we have here? 15th of a second, f4.5, 28mm. Strange camera settings again. If you're already at 15th of a second, you could have stopped down more than 4.5. I don't like red roses on black fabric. I think it always looks a bit cheap. That's my opinion. What we've got is some sort of cake with pistachio and rose, which is a classic combo, and I think it looks fine here, but I think it's overly egged. There's too many roses going on for me. This one here, like sneaking under there. I mean, it kind of looks a little bit food bloggery. I think that there's a more interesting shot here. I don't think. I mean, the roses are taking over the cake, to be honest. I really dislike roses. So hard to come back from that. But yeah, it's okay. You've exposed it well. Right, here we go. A bit of a conceptual shot. We've got the blue dyed eggs and then the normal egg here cracked open. Meh. I kind of feel like it's not straight. I'm just swinging my chair around to make sure I'm bang on center to this here. It's okay. I kind of get the concept. It's a bit of a one-trick pony. We've seen it a million times before. I've never actually seen it like this, so that's kind of interesting. But maybe there's a reason I've never seen it like this. The egg itself looks a bit flat in the highlights and the whites. Yeah, it's a bit underexposed. There we go, it's better. I don't really like the red background. It's a bit blotchy and it sort of goes a bit muddy at the back. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay. See, here we've got a whole hand in the shot. So we've got here a cocktail. Let's zoom in. This is not high res. 200th of a second, so we're probably using flash here. F8, 400 ISO. 400 ISO is fine. It's really hard to touch because the image isn't high enough resolution. It looks to me like you need a bit more shadow detail. This bit here is just getting a bit clumpy. Now, I can't really do this on a JPEG, but yeah, the detail's definitely there because in the JPEG it's there. But yeah, it's a bit dark and moody. But apart from that, It's okay. Some sort of gin bramble, I think, at a guess. I don't really like the bit which has hit the bottom already. That's sort of, you know, been better too. If you've got a second frame before it gets down here, blend those two together. Yeah, nice shot. Good hands. I feel like the holding of it's a bit awkward. It could have been maybe a bit more in the fingers rather than whatever that is. Oh, a bike. I like bikes. Is it full res? Yay! Here we go. Right then. So I like bikes. This is good. This here should be in the smallest sprocket at the back, and this crank arm should be a little bit further down. We've got the wheels perfectly matching, which is good. You've got the tyres right to the valves, which is good. The tyres needed cleaning. You see there's a little bit of dust on them. A bit of dust on the background as well. Now, I don't know whether this is your bike or a bike in a shop. So we've got some nice lighting, some nice gradations. I feel like the word argon, though, is suffering. So we've got a great catch light at the bottom of this here, but the rest of it isn't. So we either need to get rid of that catch light or have that go all the way across the lettering. There's a bit of, oh no, it's dust on my screen there. Ignore that. Yeah, nice looking bike. Angle's a bit bizarre. Feels like it's falling over a little bit, but it's good. You've done a good job. A little bit more effort on cleaning the bike. And yeah, I always think like you want it like 5311 for the sprocket. You see this rear mech looks a little bit under tension, which isn't always visually pleasing for bike images. What's up next? Bud Light. Okay, so high res, well done. We've got camera settings. Yes, we have. F12, 100 ISO and an 85mm lens. This is another shot I've seen a million times before. So what do we like? The bottle looks good. I like the blue and blue. That's something I like. The ice doesn't look right. I don't know why. I can't quite work it out. Does it need more clarity throwing into it? Something's not right with the ice. And then the bottle is a little bit like hard down the side where it's out of focus. And I think it's fine to have this hard glare, but I think you need to have it in focus if you're going to have it. Bottle's well styled, it's well put together. I don't like the vignette on the background. It's very dated. I think it gives a real like early noughties sort of vibe to stuff. But yeah, there's something not right about the ice as well, but I can't put my finger on it. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll come back to that. We'll see. See how we're doing for time. What we've got here, image0.jpg, another person who can't label files well. And it's WebRes. It's okay. Flat lay. Got some nice, I was going to say Chinese, but I don't think it is Chinese looking at that. I like this box thing here. It's a very well done set, but here's what you need to improve on. Your light position is not ideal. You've got this nice shadow here, which works great, but then this shadow here is casting it over this lovely bit of meat, which is not nice. You don't want meat in the shadow because it looks a bit not so good. Very close, but yeah, your light, shadow, not good. I hope that made sense. Oh, this is very high res. Let's zoom all the way out. Oh, it's a fashion image. Right, I know. Diddly squat around fashion. 24-70, 2.8, f10. That's 70mm. I like the red. I like the shaft of light. Let's have a look. So it's a nice shaft of light going down here. Comes down here. So here is my very limited knowledge of fashion as a review. See this bit of light here on the inside of the coat? That is very distracting. I think if this bit was gone, just here, it would help. And I think you can do that in post quite easily because you've got the shadow and texture above it. So I'd definitely do that. I like the crisp, sharp shadows. I like the shadows in the background. That's quite nice. Yeah, I really like that. But then there's something about background turns to the foreground which doesn't quite work for me. So maybe it should. Oh, it's really hard to crop there without messing the whole thing up, isn't it? I see why you've probably done what you've done. But yeah, nice image, good shot. I love how good the skin tones are in the light, and then you obviously go off into the muddy red. It's very good. I like that. Cafe Bustelo Espresso Ground Coffee. So, this I like, kind of. Oh, it's WebRes again or something, isn't it? Good file naming though. F8 160 on a 90mm 2.8 GOS. I don't know what that means. What's good about this? So, nice bold colours. I think we could have done with a shadow down this side though, and the blue background should have been constantly blue, not this weird orb of light coming in blue. However, this here is not an espresso. This is a black coffee with bubbles on top. So you need to research what it is you're shooting before you shoot it, so you know what a good version of it looks like. Then the next thing you need to do is take a shot with the packet out so we don't get this nasty reflection in the espresso. So one shot for the espresso, one shot for the packet, blend it in together. Snickers. So 200th, f16, 100 ISO. So we've got like a cold light at the bottom and a warm light at the top, which kind of works, but I think we need to lose a bit of the bottom to make it a bit more balanced. And then we've got satisfies there. Did you change the text? If so, that was very clever. Or is this a different... I don't know. If you've changed the text yourself there, that is incredibly well done. Either way, I like the concept. I like this sparkly bit here as well. However, to make this better, see this white bit here? Lose it. Make it into the same color because that is so distracting. I saw that before the rest of the image. So take this brown and smush it over this white. Apart from that, good shot. Untitled Shoot 282 Edit JPEG. We need to do a video on file naming. But here we go. 500th of a second, 5.6. Nice skin tones. Nice glow going on. Should have cleaned this crown a bit better first. If I was being really pedantic. Yeah, the necklace falls nicely. It's okay. There is nothing wrong about this, but I do just feel that it needs something more about it. It's like, here's a nice looking person, here's a nice looking outfit, some nice jewelry, nice crown, yeah, everything's nice, but it's just it's a nice picture of somebody, and I think, we need more than that. There's lots of nice pictures. This is good. This very much reminds me of Louise Hager or Hager. I don't know how to pronounce her name. Something weird going on with some purples inside this here. I'm sure, are they supposed to be there? I don't know. You've got a bit of sensor dust up here. And you've got some weird sort of haloing going on around that. But this I like. Lovely aesthetic. Not seen this shot before. It feels like this bit here is a bit empty compared to the rest of the scene, but yeah, very good shot. I like it. Clean the knife as well. Let's see what else we've got. Aperol, 1 of 1. This is nice. This has got all kinds of good vibes going on. Very summery vibes. However, there's always a however. Oh, you've used gels. I see. Very nice. Oh, you've sent WebRes as well. People, read the brief. And you've stripped all the metadata. Anyway. The colours of the drink are not right. I think this is great. The sunglasses should be placed better. I like the concept of this. Do it again, but take a second backplate where the actual product is lit for correct colour and then keep the weird colours in the background. It's very cool. I like it. This is nice. It's WebRes though. Food Boutique 14255.jpg. Another filing name disaster. It's in focus, I think. Some weird stuff going on in the background though. See here and here, it looks like sensor dust perhaps. Although F10 on 100 it shouldn't be. If it is, it's huge sensor dust. The garnish needs to be better, and I don't like the bit of wood you've put it on. Apart from that, it's a great shot. Seen it a lot of times before, but yeah, good shot. Aha, full res. Copy JPEG. So there's no metadata there. What do I think? Background's a bit blotchy, but that could be the export, so I'd look into that. So it's kind of like an overly toasted marshmallow sort of drooping down. I think it works. I think it works as a concept. I think it's a little bit too burnt. But yeah, I kind of like it. I think it could do with a bit more work though. Another few goes trying to get that perfect melt. I think it doesn't quite. Or maybe it should be a macro shot. Maybe you should do a real close up. Yeah, do you know what? Maybe revisit this. Have a play with it. It's a good idea. Keep going. Image 1 JPEG. So now the problem with this shot is, I have seen this shot done brilliantly. Howard Shooter used it as a Christmas card a few years ago. He had a cupcake of some sort with a brilliant sprinkle coming down. It was beautiful. This is not as good as that, but then, you know, he's a really good photographer. So, but you've got 3 in a straight line across here. It doesn't work for me. I think his take on it was better where it was a single cupcake with a beautiful sprinkle coming down. I think revisit it, and there's too much mess in the foreground as well. So we've got a croissant here, full res. What do I think? Not so keen on the black for the background. I get that you're showing this beautiful pastry in here because croissants are a nightmare to make. It looks quite dated. I think there's a better croissant and I'd like to see you try it. I don't think a black background is that better way. Or have you cut it out? I also think it's underexposed. There we go. This is starting to make it look a bit better already. Oh, that's too much. So yeah, it's reasonably underexposed as well. But yeah, I think I like the idea of showing inside the croissant, but I think there's a better way to achieve this. Ooh, popsicles. This is my sort of style of work. Juice popsicles, high res, very good. I do apologise for the emails pinging in the background. I'm actually working today. I'm just quickly jumping on this whilst I do a render. So you can probably hear computer fans going as well. So, can't see your camera settings, but you're not quite sharp all the way through. We could do with a little bit more sharpness. I like the idea. I like the direction of light. I like the shadows created. Don't like the popsicles though. They don't look like the best popsicles. I think you can find better popsicles out there. I like that you've got the fruit to match the popsicles, but then some of them are a bit pithy. We could do some better fruit. The shot itself is good. The things you've put in the shot could be better. Oh, this is clever. Now, I don't even like this sort of thing. This is clever, though. I like this. We've got full res. Oh, you've sent me web res. People, what is the matter? This is good. So we've got the product here lit in a way that I don't like. But I know a lot of photographers do. I think it looks very dated at the moment, but it works for this style here. We've then got the plinths in here, which are great, perfectly photoshopped, very well tidied up. And then we've got this glass falling here with a drop, another drop here, and a perfect splash here. This is a great composite. I think you could do better though. I think we can be a little bit more creative with the lighting. I think for this brand it works. I think this is the sort of brand that would like this sort of thing. Go and find a more modern brand, a more fun brand, create something more exciting. This is good. Well done. Do you have any details? Well done, full res. Then your wing pride shoot. So I've got this image here. It's in focus, which is a good start. So what do I think? I like it. I don't like the vignette at the top. I think a clearer background would be better. And you've got a lot of sensor dust. Go and get your sensor cleaned. This is a lot of dust. This needs a proper clean, not a DIY clean. Go and get that done. I think it's a bit too bright at the bottom here, and this is distracting. I like the composition. I like the pose. I like the lighting. The fall off's beautiful. It's really good sculpting of light. But yeah, I think this little hot area here, I think you can get a brush and just darken this area and this area here. But yeah, all in all, good shot. P3200489.jpg filing system disaster. No details, but it is full res. So let's have a look. A little bit of a stray hair is going straight over the eye, which bugs me. And it looks kind of soft, which is not the end of the world. What do I think? Honestly, I don't like it. I think it's a little bit... dated. Say a little bit dated. It looks very dated. It looks very like 1990s, early noughties glamour, but not done in a sort of like throwback way. I don't think it works. I don't think the shadow on the face is particularly good. The hair bit here. I mean, like, you know, you've exposed it correctly, you've composed it correctly, but I don't see the point of the image or the story of the image, which is probably why I shoot food. So maybe that is the reason why. It's kind of got a bit of that Hollywood lighting vibe to it, I guess. But yeah, it's not for me. It's not my cup of tea, and a little bit hot spots here and there, which is again not the end of the world, but like the forehead's really well lit, but then the face isn't as well lit. I think you can do more there, and I don't think this image does anything apart from, say, attractive woman, and I think you can do more than that as an image. NHD. What is going on with your file names, people? Good Lord. I dread to think what happens if you need to find anything. So the bottle's well lit. You've got some sort of like, what, gin hot toddy sort of thing going on. I've never personally seen one of those before, but maybe it's a thing. I wouldn't mind gin and honey, I guess. It's okay. I feel like the steam's taking over the shot, though. I think a bit of steam's good, but this is like, whoa, steam. Don't like black and black. That's my personal taste. It's okay. And again, the lemons here, they could look better. There's a lot of seeds going on. You know, you can take seeds out. It's not that difficult. What we've got here, Photografia, beauty commercial. Oh, this is proper file naming. Look at that, people. I bet this person can find their images when they need them. But they haven't got the metadata in the center web. Oh no, it's reasonably high res. It might be full res for the cameras. So the first thing I see is bloodshot eyes. Is that just me? I just see bloodshot eyes. And then the finger reflection in the sunglasses, which is odd. Yeah, I just see bloodshot eyes. It's okay. The hand coming in is a bit weird. It looks like someone else's hand coming in because it's been cropped off. I think no hand would have been better. I like the headscarf going on here. This is quite nice. Yeah, the eyes just seem really bloodshot to me. Maybe look into that. It's okay. It's not. It could be nice. I think the hand ruins it and the bloodshot eyes. But yeah, I think you could work on that. I'm sure you've got a frame without the hand as well, so we can always chuck that in. Chocolate cookies, JPEG. They look nice. This one here doesn't look as nice as this one here, though. I think this one could have come out and been underneath this one. So you're getting just the chunkiest bits of the chocolate cookies. There's a lot going on here. I mean, this is very much that sort of blogger food gawker style. We've got some cocoa powder, some nuts and raisins, some flour. But I don't think the composition's that great. I think there's gaps and then there's busy bits. And I think it could be, what you want to try and do is draw as many triangles as possible between items. And I think like some bits are just a bit clumpy. But yeah, good try. Good try. So you've actually named it for what's going to happen to it. Very good. I've never been so aware of people's filing systems. So what have we got here? Sonar Hom. Some nice bits of sensor dust on the background. Let's give those a quick clone out. It looks very sharpened as well from the grittiness there. So what do I think? I've definitely seen this shot before. I think it's okay. I don't like this weird halo thing on the background. It looks very dated. But I've said that many times already. And I think what you've done here is you've got the shot sorted, but you need to wait until you get the perfect splash and drip. This is not quite right. These highlights in here are a little bit much. I think either go right to the edge or just have a one on one side rather than two of these with black lines either side. And then, yes, it's very noisy in these areas here and very kind of like, looks a bit photoshopped. And obviously using Photoshop is fine, but you don't want to look badly photoshopped. So this here is one of those classic wine glass shots. Giving us any details? Nope. So we've got the swoosh and the splash. A lot of reflections in this dark bit here. And the glass is very much clipped out apart from where fingerprints are on it. And then this is a black and white. So I don't like, if you've black and whited this, I think you have. I'm not so keen on that. It's also wonky. Table to background's wonky. I would probably crop that out. That doesn't look particularly good. There we go. They've got some sort of like, I mean, it is again very 1990s. If you look at a 1990s how to do photography book, you'll find this shot in there. I think you can do more. A few bits like this wine like running down the outside of the glass and these reflections here. It's okay. It's not my cup of tea though. What do we got here? Apricot Fruitful Mixology Bread Beast Photo 1 Edit. So we've got a very strong catch light down the side here. And then there's some weird... Oh, this is the orange... Yeah, the lighting needs work for this. So I couldn't work out whether this was a shadow on the background, but then the lid, and then we've got this light sort of... We've got a clear catch light here, but then the shadow's going that way, and there's a... We need to work on lighting here. This is definitely somewhere lighting needs working on. This is a thermos, and you very badly blackened out the background around the side, and I can see that because watch. What do I think? Let's put it back to where it was. It doesn't do anything for me. I don't think it's particularly enticing. The edit's not particularly strong. I don't like this glow around the edge of it either. And the two equal sort of... I think you can revisit that. And I think what you need to do is have a think of what it is you're trying to show in the image and then decide how to light it. It looks like you tried to do here's a lighting setup shot, and you've ended up with these rim lights and two identical sort of catch lights across the top. But I don't think this looks good as a thermos. Have a look at what thermos do for their lighting and see if you can like replicate it as a learning exercise. Here we go, Strawberry Splash, you've sent it in full res. It's very underexposed. Splash is good, but it's very underexposed. Also, I'm not going to be able to fix it in a JPEG format, but let's give it a go. There we go. So that's what, nearly 3 stops underexposed. Yeah, there's a nice splash going on here. You've got the strawberry landing in. I don't like red on black, as I've said before. And the strawberry here doesn't look particularly appetizing because of the black shadow at the bottom. But yeah, it's a good initial try. But yeah, try and make something more of it. I think making a splash photograph back in the film days was probably exciting, but nowadays, anyone can do a splash photo. So make it something more. Give it some narrative. Sandwich. It's like some ploughman's lunch gourmet sort of thing going on here. What's the deal with everyone stripping their metadata? Is that a thing? I always keep mine in so I can find out what I did later on. It's okay. It's very much on a straight panoramic line, but then the panoramic crop sort of goes with that, I guess. And you just need more light in the actual sandwich, like much more light. So just grab a brush and I'll show you what I mean. So let's ping that. Oh, I've just done the whole thing. I didn't even select the brush, did I? This is just all too dark in here. Maybe a mirror to reflect some light back in would have helped. But yeah, it's okay. It's okay. What have we got next? Oh, this is nice. This is a bit good location, good seats. It's a bit hot in the whites. Let me just pop those highlights down a bit. Normally, I don't like the view from sitting down as a diner. File name DSF63010. But this works. Again, no metadata and web res. But yeah, I think it could do with a bit more contrast. You'd probably pull these blacks down, the shadows down a bit. Yeah, give it a bit of mood. But yeah, I like this. It works nicely. It's got a bit of a William Eggleston sort of effect to it. Maybe I should do a video where I edit your raw files. That could be fun. Let me know in the comments if you want to see a video of that. Here we go, mustard. I've just done a mustard shot. Kind of like what you're trying to do here, but it doesn't work. This is a good concept. The lighting's good on the mustard bottle. Don't quite like those weird rim lights. I don't like this metal down here. This you need to revisit. This has potential as an image. Oh, and that's the lot. Right then, so that was just my quick brief thoughts on your images. Please don't take any offense to this. This is just what I think. I might not be right. You know, I work as a commercial food photographer, so what I think is good is very specific to me. What you think is, you might look at my work and go, your work's horrific. That's fine. You don't have to like everything. But hopefully some of these pointers will help you even if your work wasn't in here. So you can sort of see what a pro sort of looks at and thinks of when they're looking at other people's work. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you want to see more of these, let me know in the comments below. If you want to see me edit your raw files, also let me know, because I think that could be an interesting video to make. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.